President Biden has just announced that he's canceling $10,000 worth of student loan debt for borrowers who make less than $125,000 per year. Is this enough for the nurses who hold student loan debt? I'm going to break everything down in this video, and let's go ahead and get into it. So President Biden just announced student loan debt cancellation of up to $10,000 if you make less than $125,000 per year as an individual or less than $250,000 a year as a married couple. He also extended the student loan repayment pause until the end of this year. My question to nurses is $10,000 enough? So I took it upon myself to research exactly how much debt nurses have graduating from school. The number is going to vary depending on what type of degree you have, whether you have an associate's, a bachelor's, or master's degree. But the numbers are startling, surprisingly, and we actually owe much more than $10,000 on average as a nurse graduating from school. For an associate degree nurse, that nurse ends up owing about $19,928 in student loan debt. For a bachelor's, that nurse ends up owing about $23,711 worth of student loan debt. The number gets even higher if you have a master's or a doctoral degree. For a master's degree prepared nurse, that nurse ends up out of school with $47,000 in student loan debt. So $10,000 is not near enough. To top this off, the nurses that typically make the most money also have the most in student loans. So I said a master's degree prepared nurse has about $47,000 worth of student loans. But on top of that, they may actually be right at that threshold for $125,000 per year. So if you are an advanced practice nurse, such as a nurse practitioner, CRNA, whatever it is, you make over $125,000 per year. And on top of that, you have more debt than the average nurse and the average person, considering the fact that your debt is starting at about $50,000. And if you've gone to CRNA school, I know your debt is much, much, much higher. And this is not going to help those nurses who have these advanced practice degrees and have this advanced practice degree debt. So my solution would be to just continue on with the no interest on your loans. Many people fall into the trap of paying the minimum payment, and they don't see their payments going down over the years simply because their interest rate is too high. I'm one of those nurses that has an interest rate on my student loans, and for many years I didn't really see that it was doing much simply because the interest rate is so high. During this pandemic, when the interest rate has been frozen and people can choose to make payments or choose to defer without penalty, people have been seeing their balances go down simply because they don't have that interest on top of what they would be paying for their principal payment. I think this is a much better option for people instead of saying that we're going to cancel $10,000, but only if you make a certain amount of money. Simply because the people who have higher advanced degrees are making a lot of money, but these people are still drowning in debt. So yes, I am talking about nurses, but I'm also talking about people in the medical profession itself as a medical doctor. They have thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt, and a lot of them are drowning in debt as well. So I would like to see something a little bit different than the $10,000. I'm grateful for it for the people who qualify. But then again, if you don't qualify, there are other options for you. This administration has done a lot for student loan cancellation since Biden has been in the administration, but not everybody is going to get the student loan forgiveness that they thought they would. So in the last couple of years, nurses have worked really, really, really hard, especially at the peak of the pandemic. The pandemic came very unexpectedly. We did not know what was going to happen. Nurses worked extremely hard. Nurses are still working extremely hard. I would have also liked to see, if they can't do continuation of keeping the interest off of the payments, like to see that the frontline workers get their student loans completely eliminated, canceled. So that includes nurses, that includes the physicians, that includes everybody who was working on the front line during this pandemic. So what are your thoughts on this cancellation of $10,000 of student debt for people who make less than $125,000 per year, or people who make less than $250,000 per year if you're a married couple? Let me know in the comments. So if you're not eligible to actually get the $10,000 off of your student loans and get that canceled, there are a couple other options for you. There was another announcement made that if you actually took a Pell Grant during your undergraduate studies, then you can get up to $20,000 of student loan debt completely eliminated. So Pell Grant is only for undergraduates. A federal Pell Grant is only given to undergraduate students who display exceptional financial need and have not earned a bachelor's, graduate, or professional degree, and does not have to be repaid except under certain circumstances. This is according to the Department of Education Student Loan Office. So if you were an undergraduate student and you did receive a Pell Grant, you can get up to $20,000 of student debt forgiveness. So if you don't qualify for this $10,000 student loan forgiveness or the $20,000 student loan forgiveness from a Pell Grant, then there are other options for you as a nurse. As a nurse, you may qualify for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness program. So that's meaning that you're making 120 payments on your student loans over the course of 10 years. And the federal government is making things a little bit easier now to apply for the program, to get waivers for the program, to get payments counted towards your 120 payments. They're making things a little bit easier for borrowers. So as a nurse working in the nursing profession, you most definitely qualify, but you've got to look at what type of loans you've taken out, and you have to look at where exactly you've worked. There's information on the studentaid.gov website that tells you specifically if you're eligible or not and how to fill out the application. So you want to make sure you check everything on their website to see if you're eligible and you have the type of loans that they have and you're eligible as far as your payments. So that's all I have for today's video. I just wanted to make a video coming at you and letting you know about this pivotal announcement by the federal government for this student loan debt cancellation. But in other news, there are other ways you can actually pay off your student loans quicker. If you have a side hustle or you start a business, Renursing EDU will most definitely help you do that. So check out our courses on Renursing EDU in addition to our membership, Nurse Pivoter Academy. That way you can make some extra money and start paying that down towards your student loans and take advantage of the next couple of months where we still don't have interest on our student loans. So that's it for today's video. I hope to see you in the next video. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share with other people.